Today, Serbia is to sign a free trade deal with the Russian-led Eurasian Economic Union. The union, which is widely viewed as a Russian rival to the EU, counts Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan among its members. Serbia's new free trade deal with Moscow puts it at odds with Brussels, as the country is in the middle of accession talks to the EU and is expected to align with EU foreign policy as part of that process. Well, for more now, we're joined by Florian Bieber, a professor specialising in Southeast European politics at the University of Graz. Thank you for your time this morning. Now, I guess sitting at home, you might be thinking, look, is Serbia trying to have its cake and eat it here? First of all, it has talks with Brussels to join the EU, but simultaneously, it's trying to align itself closer to Russia on trade.
Well, it's been trying to do this for years, and you could even say Serbia is to some degree copying what Yugoslavia was doing decades ago, trying to be between East and West. And of course, now that the European Union integration offer isn't as strong anymore as it used to be, looking elsewhere looks actually like a wise choice, or at least that's how Serbian President Vučić is trying to sell it.
For about 10 years, Serbia have been trying to join the European Union. What will this trade deal do to its ambitions to join the bloc?
Well, I mean, formally speaking, Serbia can always leave the Eurasian Economic Union with Russia and the other allies before it joins the EU. So it doesn't really stop it from joining the EU, but it's a signal saying basically, hey, we've got other places to look for. But let's not forget, there's hardly any significant trade with those countries Serbia is signing up to today. It's mostly in the energy sector. So this is more symbolics rather than of substantial use for the economy of Serbia.
Serbia's president said this week, following the EU's rejection to open accession negotiations to North Macedonia and Albania, he said, I quote, "The region cannot rely solely on its Western neighbours." Is the EU at risk of losing support from Balkan nations?
Well, it has been losing support for years because for many, this process of integration seemed to last forever and without any clear end in sight. And that's been confirmed by the French blockade towards accession talks for North Macedonia and Albania. And I think now we're going to see a lot more governments in the region looking elsewhere, even if it's just to put more pressure on the European Union to take them seriously. I mean, as I said, most trade of the countries are with the European Union. The main political partners are in the EU, but still looking elsewhere looks more attractive and is also a way to send a message to Brussels, which, the leaders of the region are certainly going to try to build up in the coming months and years, indeed, if this blockade is going to continue.
So we've looked at Serbia's perspective and that of the EU's. What about Moscow? Is this a real win for them?
Well, for Moscow, it's mostly about symbolic politics. It's about showing that they have some influence in the Western Balkans to kind of sometimes throw a wrench in European integration. That's what seems to have been Russia's position. I don't think Russia is going to gain substantial economic or political weight in the region. After all, it's a region surrounded by NATO, deeply integrated into the European Union. But it's just kind of showing that it's flexing its muscles and it looks bigger than it is. But, the Eurasian Union is also economically, for Russia, hardly significant. So this is more about politics, symbols, rather than about economics.
Professor Florian Bieber, thank you for your analysis this morning.
Thank you.